Hello viewers, welcome to Hila-P Sports and Entertainment TV. We are back again and this is the midweek review. CBN, we are back again and we will be discussing what really played out right there in the Premier League last weekend. We will be starting with Chelsea. Chelsea, they were able to, showcase after weeks of turmoil. They're back, beating Everton by 2-0 right there at Stamford Bridge.
It was a good performance from Chelsea.
Yeah.
They were not really at their best, but at least they got the result and they got the whole 3 points. I think it helps their cause for getting, because this period is a very difficult period right now because there are too many fixtures.
Yeah.
So for them to pick up the 3 points is a good one.
Okay, now Liverpool we are able to also Liverpool have started they have started doing what is expected of them, beating Brighton right there at Anfield by also 2-0.
Yeah. It's a very wonderful moment for the club, both in regards to the 3 points and then the fact that the issues they're having with Mohamed Salah. I think there's a little bit of peace now because he was brought on in the game and then he got an assist for the second goal. So it's a good one for Liverpool. They are picking up the points here and there, and I think it's a huge relief for Arne Slot as well.
Okay, now Fulham had to go to Burnley to be able to go home with that the 3 points, beating Burnley by 3-2. See, in that game I was expecting Burnley to but normally your prediction really went the way it's supposed to be because we expected Fulham to beat Burnley, but I was surprised they get by the goal difference, by 3-2 because the game would have ended in draw.
Yes. I think Fulham came out that day and they were prepared to go all the way and see what they can get.
Yeah,
I mean they insisted on not drawing the game, even though Burnley were not easy. They were not an easy nut to crack, but somehow Fulham steadied the ship and then made sure they went home with the whole 3 points. And we, like you mentioned, we all expected this kind of results to happen this way. I mean, it could go either the other way, but still, it's a very good one for Fulham and their coach Silva.
Okay, the league leaders, Arsenal survived a scare from Wolves in that party, in that weekend fixture. Wolves really came back, drawing them. About the time minutes, Arsenal showed the class they are made of, and they had to beat
exactly. I think that's one of the reasons why everybody has given them the title of the Premier League favorite, the favorites to win the title. Like everybody have given them that position to win the title, the Premier League, and then the Champions League maybe. Against Wolves, they were very poor in that game.
Yeah.
But still, at the end of the day,
they still find a way.
The most important thing in every football match is to win a match, to get the 3 points. And at the end of the day, they got the 3 points.
No matter how you got it.
Yeah, no matter how you
just try and get it.
Yes, exactly. But it could have been a very bad day for them in the office because
you are home.
Yeah, you are playing at home. You are playing the bottom team. A team that has not won any match
at all.
A team that virtually everybody is. I think they've had just 2 draws in this season.
And the early season, not even now.
So you are finding it difficult to get the whole 3 points. I mean, it would have been a disaster for them because if they had drawn that game, Man still would have been choking them by now.
Definitely. Talking about City, we never expected what happened against Crystal Palace. They went to Palace and they trashed Palace by 3 goals today. I wasn't expecting this amount of goals, scoring in London. But the Manchester City, they came there and they showed class.
Yeah, City are back.
Definitely, they are
in the quest for the Premier League title. And I think the earlier Arsenal began to understand the fact that any little slip from now henceforth is over for them. I think the earlier they started putting that in their heads, the better for them, because as it stands now, Manchester City, to me, they are a huge contender for the Premier League title.
Definitely.
So, and we are just close to the first half of the season.
Yeah.
All these teams, Man City, they are still going to play Arsenal. Everybody is still going to play everybody again. Yes. So it is not over for Arsenal. In fact, as it stands now, it's not. I can't even say that it's Arsenal's league to lose.
To lose, no,
because as it stands,
it's still early.
It's still early,
Very early, and everybody's choking. Every is very close.
Yes, Man City is too close. Just 2 points.
Even outside City, those in third are also close.
Very close.
Those in fourth are close.
Yeah, so
those in fifth are
a very difficult one. And for Arsenal to get the kind of result they got against Wolves,
it shows that
they are beatable.
Definitely,
anybody can come to their home and get a draw. Definitely. If they are not careful.
Definitely.
So City beating Crystal Palace is a very good. Was a statement of a very huge statement from Manchester City.
Yes.
And I think by now Mikel Arteta and his players, they will be very, very much worried.
You're very right. We never saw that coming, but City had to dig deep, and not only digging deep, they trashed Palace right there in London. Okay, now Sunderland had to beat Newcastle United. It was a surprising one for me because I know that Sunderland, they are a very strong side, but beating Newcastle. With just a goal and getting the clean sheet without Newcastle getting a goal in that game.
Well, I wasn't very, very much surprised, even though Newcastle have picked up some sort of forms of late.
Yeah.
So, but I was not really that much surprised because Newcastle, on the other hand, can still collapse on a bad day. On a normal day, they can still go come out and misfire from here and there and then lose a game. So Sunderland getting the whole 3 points is a good one for them. Sunderland were a very good team in the early part of the season. At a point, they started dropping in form, and for them to get the 3 points against Newcastle, but then it was in their Sunderland's home, so we would expect them to at least get a draw or a win against Newcastle. So it's a good one for them. Okay,
now another surprising one. Nottingham Forest beating Tottenham by 3-0. CBN.
Yeah, that's a huge surprise.
Seriously, it's a very surprising one, and the pressure is on Thomas Frank.
Yeah, exactly. He has underperformed. Seriously, he has underperformed. I mean,
at least sports fans can see the reason why you said earlier on that it's very bad for a very bad decision sacking Ange.
Yeah, of course, it's a very bad decision from my own point of view. Okay, because I feel Ange had a plan. Looking at their performances last season, I mean, they did not do well in the Premier League, and at the end of the day, he took them all the way through the Europa League,
and they won,
then won the trophy.
Yeah,
but I'm very sure he had already prepared himself on how to approach this season and then get a better result, especially in the Premier League. But them sacking him and bringing Thomas Frank, to me, it wasn't a good idea, the right decision. However, as it stands now, I think everybody that may have thought sacking Ange was a good decision will be looking at the management and be thinking of what sort of mistake
the result is paying off.
Exactly, because he's losing matches here and there, matches that you would expect him to win. I mean, losing against Nottingham Forest 3-0 is a bad result for Tottenham team that spent a lot of money in the transfer market in the summer.
How else can you explain from how can you put it? There's a word I'm looking at. You say somebody you are from nothing to something, or from glory. Is it what glory?
Grace to grass
to grace. This is that's what you explain there. Aston Villa. Villa coming from 2 goals down against West Ham and beating West Ham by 3-2. CBN. These guys are unstoppable at the moment.
They are unstoppable.
And the way they are moving.
The way I think the most surprising thing for me, in my own opinion, is the way they have been able to transform from a team that could not win a match in the first five games. They were not able to get 3 points in any game, and the way they have Unai Emery has transformed this team from that situation, that position, to an unbeatable team.
Unbeatable.
So a team
they have never lost. Since then, they have not lost in the Premier League.
Exactly. They have been winning matches home and away, week in, week out. I mean, it's a very good. I think Unai Emery is a wonderful coach.
Definitely,
he's very much experienced.
Yes,
he's had experiences with Arsenal and then Atletico Madrid. Was it Atletico Madrid? Sevilla. He's been everywhere. He has this experience that he's capable of transforming a bad situation into something that is into gold. Because what we are seeing from Aston Villa right now is wonderful.
Definitely, we can say that we can equally can say that the title contenders.
I think it's very early it's too early to say that. In as much as all these middle table teams.
Yeah.
Most of the time when they perform this way, they can actually perform this for a couple of months, but it doesn't really last long.
Like we expect. But what if?
I mean, we saw what Bournemouth.
I know. But even these guys, as on Villa, they have a lot of players. Anybody can come in, and almost, or even the bench warmers, as it stands, most of them are picked from
Exactly
the way they play. Because when you bring in new players, you see them, they play at the high intensity as those who they replaced.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But like you said, anything can happen. That's why
I think if they can be able to continue this form from now, from this December till maybe March or February. Let me not even go to March. February. I think if they can continue from now to February, then they can go all the way. It's possible.
Definitely.
And especially with Champions League qualification, which I'm very sure is their main target. I'm very sure they're not even looking at that.
Definitely, yeah. But anything can happen. Since,
of course,
even once you're pushing for the top 4 and you see there's a possibility for you to be able to climb there and pick up that title, it's possible. You can do it. Okay. Now Brentford, how they are home, they at least hold them by 1-1 draw in that game, and the game ended. I was expecting Brentford to beat Leeds, but CBN Leeds have been showing us that it wasn't a fuse by beating Chelsea and also drawing Liverpool. Then they have to come to Brentford and also draw.
Yeah, they've been getting some good results here and there. I mean, in their last 5 matches, they've gotten good results that they would have in matches that they would have lost. I mean, against Chelsea, they defeated Chelsea. Against Liverpool, they got a draw.
Yeah.
These matches are matches that you would expect them to lose. And if when they lose these matches, I don't think they'll have any
blame.
Many people will not even have any much blame on top of them.
Even the fans, we are surprised.
Yes. So, but for them to get the result in those games and then continue it with Brentford away is still a good one for them.
Okay.
And I think it helps them to solidify their
push for survival.
Survival. Okay, survival. Because I think is the main target.
Definitely. See, finally, United at home drawing to Brighton. It was one of the. In fact, for me, that was the best game of the season so far for me.
Exactly.
Because it was very intense. The intensity of that game was high.
Very high.
That I was enjoying it while watching the game. But at the end of the day, Bournemouth shows class, and they came back. What they did against Chelsea too. They came back and they say, no, we're not going here without a point, and they did it.
Yeah,
they were beaten by 4-4.
Yeah, it was. I think
8-goal thriller.
I think you rightly said it was one of the most interesting game of the season so far.
Definitely.
Yeah, with Manchester United trying all their coups together. I mean, Manchester United gave it all their best. They gave it all. They gave it their best. They had to. Bournemouth had to come from behind 3 times on 3 occasions.
Yeah,
and Man U had to come from behind once. So Manchester United actually did all they could in that game. But unfortunately for them, it was not going to be. I think I feel the problem for Manchester United is going to become too much now, because after this game, Brian Mbeumo, Ahmad, Mazraoui, they're all going for the Nations Cup.
Definitely, yeah.
And these are very important players for them. And then Casemiro picked up a yellow card, which means he's going to miss their game against, I think, a game against Aston Villa. I mean, we just talked about Aston Villa. And it's a very bad period.
And they're going away.
Aston Villa. So
they're going away.
It's a very big problem for them right now.
It is.
So the match against Bournemouth was an end-to-end game.
Yeah.
They were having opportunities, scoring goals, and then Bournemouth were coming back, scoring. And
I was expecting, because even that game, I was like, even when United we were leading by 4 goals to 2. All right, at the time, right? 4 goals to 3. Okay, 4 goals to 3. 4 to 3. Then before that, they now equalized. Yes. Just that minute, they equalized the game, and
I think Bournemouth actually had opportunities to win that game, because they had 2 opportunities from Brooks to score the 5th goal. But the Manchester United goalkeeper Lamens was, I think he was fantastic in that game.
He was.
He actually saved the point for them.
He was.
So it's a good one for Bournemouth. Bournemouth have dropped a lot of form,
but they're pushing.
Yeah, they're among the teams that are going to be very much affected with the Nations Cup, as Semenyo will be heading for.
And Semenyo one of the top
exactly.
player there. Okay, but viewers, this is what really played out last weekend. As far as the Premier League is concerned, we witnessed so many interesting and important games right there, and we have seen the likes of Aston Villa. They have never. Since after their first 5 games of the season, they have never dropped their form. They have been pushing and they have been beating teams up and down. Even they beat the league leaders Arsenal, right? In at home. So let's see how it goes. Let's see where they end. Like my colleague said, that's yes, they can be called the title contender, but anything can happen in football. They can drop form, and it happens. So let's see how it goes, and we'll be back by weekend to discuss what to expect this weekend, especially Chelsea. Also, will be having that early kickoff against Newcastle. Thank you for staying with us, and we're back.